Frog jump. I said frog jump now, Emeka. Vera's voice thundered across the living room. Trembling, Emeka obeyed, hopping weakly across the shiny marble floor, tears streaming down his face. A tray of leafy vegetables lay scattered beside him. Vera stood tall in her expensive gown, clutching a belt and a long cane, her face twisted in anger. A few years ago, everything was different. Emeka Obi was a well-known businessman in Lagos. He owned big electronic stores and was known for helping people. Money was not a problem. He took care of his family like a real king. Vera Obi, or V as the world called her, was a popular TV star. Her show, V Talks, Real Love, Real Life, was a favorite across Nigeria. She gave advice about marriage, business, and how women should never settle for less. Their wedding had been a big event, with cameras flashing and celebrities attending. They moved into a beautiful mansion. Zara, their daughter, had everything she wanted: the latest phones, clothes, trips abroad. She spent most of her free time dancing and streaming live to her growing followers on TikTok. People called them the perfect family. But behind every perfect picture, sometimes, there is a hidden crack. The fall didn't happen overnight. It came slowly, like rain soaking into the ground. Emeka lost a major business deal. Then another. Soon, his shop started closing down one after the other. Debt swallowed everything he had worked hard for. He tried to hide the shame from Vera. He sold some of his things, borrowed money, prayed and even fasted. But nothing changed. Vera soon noticed the change. At first, she said, "Don't worry, my love. It's just a bad season." But her patience had limits. While Emeka was losing everything, Queen V was shining brighter. Her fame grew. Her bank account grew. Brands and companies were fighting to work with her. Soon, Vera became the one paying school fees, feeding the house, covering all the expenses. Little by little, respect left her heart. She didn't see Emeka as her husband anymore. She saw him as a burden she was carrying alone. The Emeka she married was no longer the man standing before her now. And Zora, she watched everything, feeling helpless as her once happy home started to collapse. One evening, Vera, who was on her way home from work, called Emeka and told him to go to the market to buy some things for dinner. She was tired and was already running late. She texted him the things to buy: rice, onions, tomatoes, pepper and other items. Emeka, who was still unhappy and distracted, bought everything but forgot the tomatoes. He didn't even realize it until Vera opened the bags when she got back. "Where are the tomatoes?" she asked, her voice sharp. Emeka scratched his head, confused. "Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot." Before he could finish speaking, smack. Vera's palm landed hard on his cheek. "Useless man," she shouted. "You can't even do small market work properly. What were you even thinking? Now what am I going to use to prepare the rice?" Emeka was shocked at how Vera reacted. Vera continued ranting, not even sparing a glance at him. Zara, who was dancing upstairs for her TikTok live, heard her mother shouting. She froze. Her followers asked what was wrong, but she quickly ended the live. When she got to know about the matter, she was also surprised at the way her mother reacted. She felt sorry for her father. From that day, things got worse. Emeka tried to make her happy by doing some house chores for her. But Vera didn't even notice. She started to order him around like a houseboy. "Scrub the toilet, bring me water, wash the back of the pot well, cook dinner, clean my shoes and iron my clothes," she commanded daily. "If you can't bring in money, you should do the chores while I bring in the money," she would say. Emeka didn't complain. She stopped talking to him with respect. She no longer called him darling or sweetheart. Now it was "you this man," or just Emeka, with disgust in her voice. She always looked for fault in whatever he did so she could insult him and slap him in front of their daughter. Sometimes, after insulting him, she would sit on the sofa, cross her legs, and hiss loudly. "Big man. See your life now. You're just good for nothing." Soon, Emeka became a slave in his house. One time, Emeka mistakenly burnt one of her dresses while ironing. When Vera found, she flew into rage. When flogged him with a cane. And after that she ordered him to kneel down in the living room, raise his hands, and close his eyes, like a schoolchild. Another time, Vera brought two of her friends to the house. She had already told Emeka what to prepare for her friends. Emeka did everything as instructed. All through their stay, Vera and her friends ordered him about. And when they were done with their meals, one of Vera's friends accidentally knocked over the tray of leftovers Emeka was holding. Vera got angry and slapped Emeka and insulted him in the presence of her friends, accusing him of being clumsy, while her friends watched her. When Emeka went out to hang out with his friends one day, they instantly noticed that something was wrong. He was lean and tattered with some cane marks on his body. "Emeka, how are you and why do you look like this?" But Emeka only forced a smile and said, "Everything is fine, bro." They refused to believe he was okay. So he ended up explaining everything to them. "Emeka, you're a man. Don't let a woman treat you like a rag. Stand up for yourself," they told him. But Emeka only shook his head. "It's not easy. Where do I start from?" he said quietly. "Where do I go? I don't even have money again." The pain was no longer just physical. It had entered his mind, his heart. He was no longer himself. Any small mistake he made was punishment. If he came home late from the market, flogging. If he didn't pluck vegetables well, insults. If he broke a plate by accident, she would break another one on his head, just to teach him a lesson. It became a normal thing in their house. Zara watched everything. She stopped doing TikTok videos for a while. Even dancing didn't feel right anymore. One day, she finally spoke up. "Mommy, stop treating Daddy like this, please. He's trying his best." Vera turned sharply. "Oh, you too? You want to start talking nonsense in my house?" Before Zara could say another word, her mother gave her a dirty slap. Then another. Then she brought out her cane and beat Zara until the poor girl ran into her room, crying. From that day, Zara kept quiet. She didn't speak up again. She just watched in silence. The neighbors heard the shouting and commotion sometimes. Some of them said nothing. Others whispered behind their backs. "That man is suffering in that house." That's what happens when a woman earns more than a man. It was a Saturday evening. Vera had just returned from the TV station. She was still wearing her expensive dress and gold jewelry, her face fully made up. She looked like a queen. She entered the kitchen, lifted the pot of hot ogbono soup Emeka cooked, smelled it, and screamed. "Oh my God! Emeka, what is this nonsense?" Emeka walked in slowly, holding a basket of folded clothes. "I cooked it the same way you said." Before he could finish, she poured the hot soup on his chest. A whole TV personality like me, coming home to nonsense soup from a jobless man. Emeka shouted in pain, dropping the clothes. He tried to wipe the soup off, but it was already burning his skin. Zara heard the scream and sat up in her room. Downstairs, Vera wasn't done. She went totally mad. She picked up a ceramic plate from the plate rack and smashed it on Emeka's head. "You are very useless," she screamed. "So useless. I regret marrying you." Then she picked up her long cane and started flogging him again, over and over. Zara couldn't take it anymore. Tears were running down her face. Her hands were shaking. She picked up her phone and went live on TikTok without thinking. She recorded from her door, zooming in from upstairs. She didn't go down, she was afraid of getting beaten again. But she knew this time, the world needed to see it. Her followers, thousands of them, started watching. At first, they were confused. Then, they started commenting. "Is that your dad? Oh my God, what is happening? Call the police. Record it, don't stop. This is abuse." Some viewers started screen recording. Others began tagging authorities. Zara didn't stop recording. She was crying the whole time, whispering, "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry." Her mother was still shouting. Her father was lying on the floor, blood dripping from his forehead. And her phone was still live. Thousands of people were watching. The comments were coming fast. Zara didn't reply. She just stood there, crying, letting the world see what had been happening inside their home. Then, suddenly, Vera turned and saw her. Her eyes narrowed. Her face twisted in rage. She dropped the cane and started marching upstairs. Zara's heart stopped. Quickly, she ended the live and ran inside her room, locking the door. "Zara, open this door now!" Vera screamed, banging hard. "You want to put your mother to shame. You want to disgrace me." Zara backed away from the door, shaking. She knew what was coming. She knew if her mother got inside, she was finished. Downstairs, Emeka was still lying on the floor, holding his head. He could hear everything. He wanted to stand up, to protect his daughter. But he was too weak. For the first time in a long time, he hated himself. How did he become this man? How did he let this happen? Meanwhile, outside their house, things were happening. The video was already everywhere. People had screen recorded it and were posting it on Instagram, Facebook, and even WhatsApp groups. Some tagged human rights activists. Some tagged the police. Others tagged the TV station where Vera worked. Within minutes, the video was trending. And within an hour, Vera's perfect public image was shattered. Inside the house, Vera was still banging on Zora's door, trying desperately to enter. But suddenly, her phone rang. She looked at the screen. It was her manager from the TV station. She picked up. "Hello," she said, still breathing hard. "Vera," the voice on the phone snapped. "What have you done? Do you know your video is everywhere? Do you know people are calling for your arrest?" Vera's eyes widened. Her breathing slowed. What are you talking about?" Then another call came in. And another. And another. Her hands started shaking. She turned to look down at Emeka, still lying on the floor. Then back at Zora's locked door. For the first time, she felt fear. She left Zora's door and went straight to her room, panicking. She paced around the room for a long time, thinking of what to do. She decided to leave the house and go to another state and lay low there until everything was over. Then, she started packing her bags. Zara quietly came out after the noise had died down. She wondered where she went. She started looking for her. Then when she peeped through the keyhole of her mother's room, she saw her packing and became alarmed. She quickly thought of what to do. Then like a flash, she opened the door, grabbed the keys and locked her mother in the room. And went to take care of her father. She called the emergency and they took care of the rest. The next morning, the house was quiet. Vera didn't sleep all night. She tried every means of escape but she didn't succeed. Her phones wouldn't stop ringing. Social media was boiling. Her video was everywhere. She felt like going crazy. The TV station even released a statement. "We have suspended Vera Obi pending investigation. We condemn all forms of domestic abuse." At 10:32 a.m., a loud knock came at the gate. "Open up. Nigerian police." Vera froze in her room. Zara walked out from her room, tears still in her eyes. Emeka was lying on the couch, his head bandaged. The police entered along with some human rights activists. They arrested Vera immediately. She tried to talk. "I'm a public figure. You people don't know who I am." But nobody listened. The neighbors watched in silence as she was taken away in handcuffs. Some recorded with their phones. Others just shook their heads. Zara was taken into protective care. She was given counseling, a safe space to talk. She finally cried freely and said, "I just wanted my dad to be safe." Her video became a symbol of courage, a daughter exposing abuse, even when it came from her own mother. As for Emeka, he was broken, but free. He started going for therapy. At first, he could barely speak. But slowly, he found his voice again. Months later, he started a small support group for abused men. They met twice a month in a community hall. They shared stories. They healed together. Zara visited her father some months after being taken to protective shelter. She hugged him tightly. Emeka smiled faintly and said, "There are still scars, but now, there is also hope." If you or someone you know is suffering from domestic abuse, whether man, woman, or child, please speak up. Silence protects the abuser, not the victim. Share this story. Let the world know that abuse has no gender, and everyone deserves peace, love, and safety in their own home.